Warriors, come out to play! Warriors!
Well, this is awkward. Since Tari Eason made this video, and everyone tried making things a competition between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors, it hasn't been much of a competition, because the Dubs have just won their 5th game in a row, icing the red-hot Dallas Mavericks, and with Houston up next, they could well and truly put all of this talk to bed. And there was one Warriors player who responded to Tari Eason's comments.
I am a little surprised that he hasn't played in the game since January 1st. It's kind of tough to come out and play, and you're not gonna play.
And as you'd expect, the people in the replies had some things to say about Draymond. Well, all I know is Tari Eason isn't making plays like this.
Kyrie Irving goes inside with the pass.
And this is no disrespect to Tari Eason. Well, it can be if you want it to be, but there is almost no one in NBA history that can do what Draymond Green does on the defensive side of the floor. Just watch this play back. Luka drives and kicks to Kyrie, who attacks Wiggs off the dribble, and pause here. Right here, Draymond has a decision to make. Defend the floater from Kyrie or stay attached to Gafford. He does what only Draymond does, which is stunt at Kyrie before then rotating back to Gafford and managing to block the layup attempt before the most underrated part of this play, keeping the ball in bounds. That's what makes Draymond Green a first ballot Hall of Famer. And what if I told you it was Draymond Green, not Steph Curry, not Luka Doncic, not Kyrie Irving, that absolutely took over this game in the 4th quarter. Not only did he have that huge rejection, but he made play after play. Starting with 3 minutes remaining and the score's separated by 2. He slips the screen and is able to get the ball up before Gafford can help over, forcing a goaltend. A minute later, with Steph's layup a bit too strong off the glass, Dre is there to tip in the rebound, and again, it's another bucket that the Mavs can't get to in time. But he wasn't done there, because with just a minute remaining, he got the ball out top, and with no hesitation, Dre went straight downhill and got to the rim. But just to seal the deal, with 10 seconds remaining and the Mavs down by 4, he plays lockdown defense on Kyrie Irving, forcing him to hit the side of the backboard. For anyone keeping track, that was 6 points and 2 huge stops in just the last 3 minutes of the game from the one and only Draymond Green. And that's exactly what he is. He's one of a kind. For more reasons than one, but over the last 2 games, we've seen the good reasons. Because in his last 2 games against a couple of teams from Texas, Dre has not only been aggressive offensively, averaging 16 and 8, but he's had 10 steals in those 2 games. 10. Which, like always, were a result of him being one step ahead of everyone else. Just look at him on this play, where Derrick Jones Jr. gets the ball in the corner, and Dre recognizes with GP2 pushing him baseline, if he peels off at the right time, he can completely close off any passing or scoring options, forcing a turnover. Or in this play, where the Mavs run a double screen, and with PJ flaring out to the 3-point line, Derrick Jones attacks the gap. Unfortunately for Dallas, Draymond read that like he always does, getting in the lane for the steal before going coast to coast and feeding Andrew Wiggins, and that's probably a good segue, because despite struggling against the Spurs, this is the most confident and consistent version of Andrew Wiggins we have seen all season. And I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather him have 4 good games and 1 bad game than just kind of be a background character, which is sadly what it felt like earlier in the year. Well, that's changed, and the Dubs needed this to change, particularly with Jonathan Kuminga missing games, as Wiggs is the only other guy on the team that can consistently get to the rim and get high percentage shots, whether that be in transition or in the half court. You also like to see him working in the post and using his combination of size and skill to get good looks around the basket, like here against Luka, where it's just one dribble into his chest before the soft hook shot. It's not a coincidence coincidence that the best stretch of Wiggs' season has also resulted in some of the best play from the Warriors all season long, and this is whilst Steph has struggled. If there's one thing I've learned from watching Steph Curry for quite some time, he will break out of a slump. I don't care if he's 36 years old or 46 years old. This man is too good of a shooter to continue shooting like this. I can guarantee you of that. Now, there's another player who has received his fair share of criticism, particularly recently, and that's Brandon Podziemski. Some people question why he gets so many minutes. Well, one thing you can't question is his intensity on the boards, and these boards so often lead to easy points for the Warriors, like on this play where Steph gets to the middle of the floor, and watch here as GP2 climbs to tip the ball out of Luka's hands before Pod sneaks in behind and takes the ball away from him, leading to a reload Steph 3. And when I say he's a menace on the boards, just look at him here. Clay gets the ball on the move, and watch here as Pods flies in to tip the ball away from Paolo's reach, which gets tipped back to him for the extra possession. For anyone wondering, Paolo Banchero is 6'10". Brandon Podziemski is 6'4" and not a crazy athlete either. But this play right here is how he makes up for the size and athleticism disadvantages. Pods initially finds GP2 for the open 3, but he doesn't stay still, moving towards the offensive glass, and just watch closely as Champagny grabs the initial board, but Pods actually times his jump so that he can knock the ball out of his hands on the way down. I'm sorry, but that's just genius. And just to put his rebounding into perspective, Pods is currently 6th in the NBA for offensive rebounds amongst guards. And when you look at the other names, they're either 6'7" and above, or not even really playing the guard position. Now, there is one major reason people have been hating on Pods, and it's not his fault, but Moses Moody is finally getting a decent number of minutes, and he's making them count. The issue for Moses has been consistency with his shot, because unlike other players on this team, Moses isn't too much of a playmaker. There are two things he can do, however, and that's play defense and knock down threes, which in today's NBA makes you a very, very valuable player. Luckily for the Dubs, he's been absolutely lights out recently from 3, knocking down all of the open shots that he's been afforded, but we've also seen some development from Moses making some more shots off the move, like on this play where the Warriors run their patented split action, but instead of having Clay or Steph come off the screen, it's Moody, and he knocks down the 3 on the move. If he can find a way to consistently make those kind of shots, in addition to the effort he's shown on the glass and on the defensive end of the floor, he's someone that needs to be in the Warriors' rotation. And I'm not going to say you need to, but if you did make it to the end of the video, consider subscribing, dropping a like would be much appreciated. Have a great day. Bye.